In this module, we will publish our project and our schedule via the BrightSign Network service. As I've mentioned in prior modules, there are a number of ways you can publish to a BrightSign player. You can publish through an SD card, just directly to the player. You can publish over your local area network, or via simple file networking, which takes advantage of a web server, or you can use the BrightSign Network service. In this module, we'll talk about the BrightSign Network service. Before I dig in, though, just a couple of points about the BrightSign Network. This is a hosted service that we operate and make available to customers. It's not expensive, but it's not free either. It's a complete publishing solution that works in both directions. Not only can you manage any number of players remotely, but you get reports and health and status information back from your players to know that they're alive and well. We also give you access to maintenance, backup, and other tasks that you can manage. Well, we manage a lot of those tasks on the server, but you can manage administratively the presentations, the players, and user permissions of people who are authorized to access and manage players on your network. So it's a very, very, very complete system. In order for this to work, though, you will need a BrightSign Network account. That account needs to be set up in advance. You cannot create a new BrightSign Network account from inside BrightAuthor. In order to do that, you need to contact us and get an account created. It costs nothing to create an account. The only cost is for each BrightSign player that uses the account. There's no charge for the number of users you have. There's no charge for the number of copies of BrightAuthor. BrightAuthor is free. You can download and use as many as you need. There's no charge per individual user or to upload or to download. There are no bandwidth or storage costs. It's a very straightforward model where you pay annually for each BrightSign player that's connected. Now, there are some very high-end limits to the amount of bandwidth you can use. I'm not aware of any customers who've crossed that line. The limits are high, but there is some fine print in our agreement about abusing the network and managing, hundreds of gigs or terabytes of bandwidth consumption on a monthly basis. That would be an extremely rare, a very corner case. If you think you fall into that territory, talk to a BrightSign account manager and we'll make sure we're crystal clear there. All right, so let's go publish something via my BrightSign Network account. Here we are at my desktop. I'm going to start BrightAuthor, and as before, BrightAuthor is going to default to an empty calendar, and I have no option here to publish via the BrightSign Network. I need to go to my BrightAuthor preferences in the user interface, choose networking, and enable publishing via the BrightSign Network. And the moment I do that, additional tabs show up. And when I choose the BrightSign Network, well, I'm not logged in, so it's not going to let me choose it. Now, I mentioned earlier that a username and account is required. I have one on my personal account, so I'm going to take a moment here under Tools to sign in to my own account. The moment I sign in, a Manage tab appears here, and you can tell by BrightAuthor's notification here that I am now signed into my BrightSign Network account. A quick look at the Manage tab shows me that I have a group of players here. It's actually one player, a group of one. A single player is up and running here in my office. It happens to be an XD1230, and it's available to publish to. When I choose Publish, I then choose Publish via the BrightSign Network. I'm presented here with a list. I'm waiting for it to catch up with me. Here we go. I'm presented here with a list of projects that have been uploaded for use in my account. And I'm only allowed to schedule projects that exist in this list. Here's a project called Training 1 that I uploaded earlier before starting this session. This is the project that you and I created earlier called Training 1, and I'm going to find that project here under Open Training 1. Here it is. This project was built earlier. You should recognize it. with my two playlists of images and video. In order to make this project available to publish, I need to upload it. So I'll take a moment and hit upload. The good news is BrightAuthor first notices there's already a training one up there. I'm going to say yes, let's override it. And BrightAuthor is going to bark at me one more time about another file conflict. The good news, as I was about to mention, is that it's not going to take time to upload all these files again. We're smart enough to figure out not only that the files have the same name, but that they haven't changed. If a file changes, even if it has the same name, it will be uploaded. But in this case, none of these files have changed. They've all got the same name. It's the exact same project I used before. So they will upload in very, very short order. Done. The project is available to be scheduled. Simply uploading a project doesn't schedule it. It makes it available to be scheduled. Scheduling is handled here on the Publish tab. In the Publish tab, BrightAuthor behaves a little differently when publishing via the BrightSign network than it does in any of the other methods. Clicking on the Publish tab will reveal to me the schedule that currently exists for any given group of players. So if I choose the XD player group, I see that a schedule is running there, and this is what's scheduled. Unlike the other publishing methods, where I could not retrieve from the player a schedule that had been published, when using the BrightSign network, BrightAuthor is able to communicate with the network and learn what the current schedule is. And I see that the schedule to the XD player group is this project. Well, I'm going to delete that from the schedule, and I'm going to grab the Training 1 project that we built earlier. I'm going to set it to run all day, every day. And if using this calendar isn't familiar to you, I suggest you review the calendaring basics module that is available here in this section so that this makes sense. But now that I've placed this project on my schedule and I've chosen the group that I want it to publish to, I say publish. This won't take long because nothing's being uploaded. You remember, I just uploaded the project a moment ago. It already exists in my account. I'm simply notifying I'm notifying the BrightSign network that this project should be sent to this group of players. In fact, it's already done. So the Training 1 nonstop event has been scheduled to my XD player group. On the Manage tab, I can see that in the XD player group, the project Training 1 is scheduled to run. But this player, as I expand this group, this player's checking in every 60 seconds, and it last checked in at 3:54. Today, you can tell what day I'm making this video. It last checked in at 3:54. It's currently 3:56, so it's probably checked in again. I'm going to hit refresh and get a new status here and see that in fact it did check in at 3:56:06. I'm going to right click and choose download progress, and I can see the status of all the asset downloads to that player. Other publishing methods don't give me this information, but the integration of BrightAuthor with the BrightSign network and the BrightSign players is truly complete. And there's a tremendous amount of detail. Much more intelligence is available to me here to know what's going on with the players in my network. I can tell that this player began downloading this project at 3:55 and that the download is now underway. I can refresh this screen at any moment and see the status of various files and downloads. When the download is complete, the player will make its switch. That's all very interesting. Didn't need to check any of that. I do so just so you can see what's happening. The moment I hit publish, which I just hit this tab and I'm waiting for BrightAuthor to catch up with me. The moment I hit publish here and BrightAuthor reported that the publish was done, I was finished and I could leave. All the groups that I've created are available to me here, and if I need to create a new group, I do so at the Manage tab. I can collapse and open groups that are here. I don't have any players in this group, and I don't have any players in this group. As you can see, the device count is 0 in both. I have only one player in this group. The device count is 1. But if I need a new group for other use, I simply click Add a Group, give it a name, Raise New Group, and say OK. and I now have a new group available to use for players. And anything I schedule to that group will go to however many players I put in that group. So publishing via the publishing via the BrightSign network using BrightAuthor is a very, very straightforward task. Arrange your calendar as you want, choose the player, group, and hit publish.